are here to discuss if you are an in denial escort or prostitute, and we are here to discuss if a lot of women on a very large scale are in denial escorts and prostitutes. That's what we are here to discuss tonight. So I hope by the end of the night we can have the answer to these questions. Ms. Demetria, how are you doing tonight?
Good evening. I'm doing amazing. How are you?
I'm doing well, Ms. Demetria. I'm just, I saw some content today, and you know, I was curious. I don't really know the answer to the I don't know the answers to the questions that I have. So I was like, man, let me go on TikTok, because a lot of the women on TikTok, especially the black women, they know everything. So I came on here, and I have some questions, Ms. Demetria. Are you ready to get into the questions?
I'm ready to get into it.
Okay. I want you to be 100% honest in these questions that I'm going to ask you, all right?
hmm
All right. So the first question that I have for you is, have you ever been physically attracted to a man and wanted to sleep with him, but didn't because you felt you hadn't received something you wanted from him, or he hadn't earned it yet? Be 100% honest.
Yes, because he hadn't earned something yet, but not something transactional. That's not my creed. That's not my belief system. That it has to be transactional. If I want to say in the past, if I wanted to have sex because women know what they want, then that's what I wanted to do. But if it was something um, that didn't appeal to me, whether his character or something that I seen how he moved, then it was hands off. But we know, you know, that's for each individual to decide, like if they want to engage in sex or something like that. But yeah, on
All
that
right.
basis, on that grounds alone, not because he didn't take me to check boxes like restaurants and monetary. Nah, I don't move like that. Never
All right.
have.
All right. I respect that. All right. So my second question, Ms. Demetria, is, if a woman is genuinely physically attracted to a man and wants to sleep with him, is it wrong for her to sleep with him without getting anything first? Meaning, um, I'm talking about this woman. This woman, she hasn't received any cash. She hasn't received any materialistic items. Um, she hasn't been taken on any trips. He hasn't funded anything for her. He hasn't bought her. He hasn't like paid a bill or several bills for her. If that is her reasoning behind not wanting to sleep with the man, despite the fact that she's genuinely physically attracted to him and wants to sleep with him and would sleep with him if given the opportunity, is it wrong for her to not sleep with him because of those reasons?
Well, how you basically set the question up, you're basically it's a person's preference. It's preference. If that's what the woman's psyche is set up for, if that's what she's conditioned for on conditional things like that, then that's how she's set up. Me, I answered it in my first one. I'm not set up like that. If it's something that I want to do, then that's what I'm going to do. So it doesn't,
Respect.
again, it's not like a transaction. Like
Right.
my sex, there is no value for that. It comes down to, do Demetria want to do that?
Right. So Ms. Demetria, you don't feel so with your thought process, like you said, if you find a man attractive and you want to sleep with him, you're going to sleep with him for the simple fact that you find him genuinely attractive and you want to sleep with him. You don't feel like you're being used or taken advantage of?
Because I didn't get a certain date or a certain gifts or
Yes.
trips or something like that.
Yes.
Now, let's be clear. There are setup chicks out here and there are fuck boys out here. And the problem with society is that fuck boys be trying to move like they honest, and setup chicks be trying to move like they someone of my caliber that has integrity. So, I mean, with life, sometimes you do get slapped in the face when you make a choice. But I didn't make my choice to sleep with someone because of monetary value. it was a connection. It was sometimes just physical. I'm a realist. It is what it is, whether it was just physical, whether it was spiritual, emotional, physical. Like those are the things that I get into, but those things are intangible. You can't compare how I move to someone who's transactional and need tangible things to put their hands on, to validate them and affirm them. And that's where their value is placed at. That to me subtracts from the experiences, subtracts from life. Are you looking for something that's conditional, or do you want a love that's unconditional? So where do you place your value at? That says a lot about you, men or women. Because there are men out here that are homosexuals. They are looking for a sugar mama, someone to cake them and all that. It goes both ways. And they out here looking too. So we got fuck boys and we got set up chicks. Those are people who are conditionally built, where it's all about conditions. And then those are the ones who find love that's fleeting from them. Don't get me wrong. You can be a person of integrity, um, and you know, not have found love, but still, that's my that's that's my foundation on who I am. That's where I build from. My value is not what a fuckboy and a setup chick goes after, which is conditional stuff. There's a difference, the distinct difference.
All right. Thank you for that. So my next question is, Ms. Demetria, what do you think about women who want something from men before sleeping with them? Do you see them in the same light as an escort or a prostitute?
No, again, preference. Um, I want to be courted. I want to be treated well. I want chivalry. I want all of that, right? I'm not a prostitute. Again, there's a difference between like the attitude and how a chick move, but there's somebody for everybody. So, I mean, I feel like how I move, I'm definitely not a prostitute. Definitely not, because the most valuable things about me are internal. But it just takes that man, that suitor, to see that and appreciate that and know how to handle that. You may want it, you may be attracted to it, you may find a connection, we may find each other attractive, but can you handle what I have?
Ms.
Can you?
Demetria,
Mm-hmm.
I understand that you are not into transactional relationships, but what I am asking you is, what do you personally think of the woman that have the opposite mindset of you? The woman that, like I said, they are genuinely physically attracted to a man and they want to sleep with a man, but in their head, they need to receive something before they even consider sleeping with the man. I'm asking you,
Mm-hmm.
what are your honest thoughts on those women? I'm asking you, do you see those women in the same light as an escort or a prostitute? Because a prostitute is going to sleep with you directly for cash. An escort is going to provide a service for you and expect something in return, but it may not be directly cash. It might be materialistic items. It might be trips. So I'm asking you, what do you think about those specific women?
Okay, I believe me and the audience and yourself, we know that prostitution is a very strong word. However, let's deal with it. Okay, let's go into the bag. If you are living a that type of lifestyle, if that's your mentality, if that's how you set up, you're wrong, because you playing the game. You're gonna get what you give, and it leads you down to a dead end. And then you deal with surface level people, uh, and not only that, you may meet some real genuine deep people, but you yourself are surface level. You yourself don't even know your true value. Your moral compass is off, your character is off. People will see that, and then you're gonna be left with a circle or a community of people that have the ideology of you. It's wrong. It's a game. um People, we are worth more than just things. Like the whole value, the whole substance, the whole makeup of who I am and who everybody else is more valuable than just things. So you got to be able to look beyond that. You got to be able to go deeper than that. So it's wrong. It's a game. If you're a fuck boy, come out the life. Come out. Come to the light. Come to the light. You a setup chick. You know, I understand that prostitution is a harsh word, but you prostituting your looks, you're prostituting your worth. You have subtracted from yourself. You think you added to yourself because you got a bag, but the real bag talk is, can you get it back for yourself? Can you make it for yourself? Who are you if these men don't provide for you? Fuck boy, who are you if you're not on another woman's couch in her purse? Who are you? Have some business about yourself. Why do you need the opposite sex to build you up? It should start with the inner man first. I know a lot of people don't want to receive this, they don't want to eat this, but this is why shit is fucked up. And I ain't apologizing for my language. I wanted to come out just like that. Y'all understand that. Y'all understand that real clear. That's why shit is fucked up. Because you put value in the wrong place and you subtract it from yourself all the days long. You see what somebody else of substance and character have. They work for it. They don't need another person to validate them. They take some losses. They get back up. But ain't no other person in this world finna have me on life support because I have to feed off of what they giving me. You're not finna give me no IV drip. I'm gonna go get it for myself and I'm gonna build myself back up. And anybody who comes into my life, friend, whatever, I need you to be an addition to my life. That's value to me. Don't subtract from my life. Don't do that. And don't play with me. Don't get me on a date and play with me. For the women who set the dudes up, don't get him on a date, someone of substance and character, and play with him either. It's not the game you want to play. You in the wrong lane. And you got life fucked up. And you got life fucked up. You don't missed out on a whole good person because you want a purse. You still ain't learned the ABCs of life. You don't missed out on a whole good experience. You try to place value on a woman and say that should be your woman because you see the assets she come with. Maybe you should just be able to, maybe she should be your teacher. Maybe she should teach you a few things so you can build yourself up. Don't put people in the wrong place value. Know exactly who you're dealing with. The relationships and everything is all fucked up because people can't stand on their own 10 toes. How about that? You hiding behind your relationship. You hiding behind the gram and the boxes. But can you deal with yourself? Now I don't told on you what it really is, and I'll deal with it. Go back to the drawing board and get yourself together. And be proud that you can swipe your card and your visa to get your own stuff, men and women. And stop trying to be a monkey on other people's back and trying to slick them and put a wool over their eyes. How about that? How about that? Let's try that. Go back, work on yourself. You 54 years old, go back, work on yourself. You 17 and you gleaming from these celebrities, which you think you know. No, go to school. Don't depend on people to do the stuff for you. There's other people out here who are taking hard hits and getting back up and living life to the fullest and can show you the right way. And you choose to subscribe to the fluff of celebrities and all that type of stuff, the smoke and mirrors, well, then that's your fault. But there is a way to do it. It's a narrow path. You trying to take the broad one, but it is a narrow path, and you got to be equipped mentally and physically to be able to get the job done. And it always comes back to you. Can't be blaming nobody else for you getting caught up in superficial things, surface level things. Build yourself up. Excuse me, ground up. That's your responsibility. And guess what? The real ones out here, we know if you build it brick by brick, or if you a taker. And again, that
Facts.
goes back to subtracting.
So Ms. Demetia, have women always been advised to sleep with men if they're not getting something in return? Like,
Yes.
you're older than me, so um, you have some years on me, so you'll really be able to answer this question because, like I said, within the past 5-6 years, the influencers and the artists and the powers that be, if you will, that's when in my young adult life, that's when I first started seeing, these women advising these other women that you should not be sleeping with a man just to sleep with him. You should be getting something in return. So I want to know, have women always been advised to not sleep with men if they're not getting something in return?
Yes. I mean, it was one particular lady. My mom didn't raise me like that. You know, she modeled how you're supposed to be as a woman. You know, but there was one lady. I went to high school with her daughter, and when I spent the night over her daughter's house, well, over their house, she was just like, "Don't ever be sleeping with these men and don't have something. You need to have something." And to me, it was so. It
Shallow.
was like the farthest thing from my mind. Like, uh, but okay, but what am I giving him? He ain't asked me for nothing.
Right.
So what? What he's supposed to give me a BMW? I'm supposed to give him Mercedes? Like,
Right.
what are we really saying?
And I don't mean to cut you off, Miss Demetia. So the woman in the video, towards the end of the video, Chantel, you are next. Ladies and gentlemen that are new here. Sometimes I have multiple people in the box, but I always only talk to one person at a time, okay? And when I'm talking to one person, the other people that are in the box have to be muted up, but I only talk to one person at a time. I have one more question to ask Ms. Demetia after this question, and then you're going to be next, Chantel. But Ms. Demetia, so in the video, the woman said towards the end of the video, she said like when a man and a woman have sex, like she said, you're giving him coochie and he's giving you dick. Like that's what you're getting in return.
That
So she said it's a fair exchange. So I don't know where, the money and the materialistic items and all this other stuff. I don't know when that got into play.
okay, it's what you choose to subscribe to. It's so many channels that mankind can tune into. Is what you said yes to. It's what you gave your yes to. Again, if you let something that you see tear up a foundation on unconditional love, because that's what you're getting away from. You really don't want that. You really, like a noble really be trying to tell y'all, like you really want to be in a relationship. You really want to have this love, but you really going about it the wrong way. So eventually, when you get older, you're really going to realize you really do want unconditional love. So you tearing up that foundation before you get started, but you can recover. You can. We always do. Um, Gets whatever the fuck she wants. I work for it, and I'm proud of that. And can't nobody steal that from me. It's my own dignity and pride. It was called self-love. It's called self-pride and dignity. Can't nobody even afford to give that to me. They can't even begin to do my own work for me. Though my mission's work is for me to do. It ain't got nobody else's name on it. Um, okay, so this mentality is going to continue to be handed down because someone got something out of the deal.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you, so you got something out of the deal, but you dug up unconditional. You're not going to tell us about how your marriage is really going. You're not, because you're already used to smoking mirrors. You're the one, y'all are the ones who are doing this. Your grandmamas and the people before them and the people before them, y'all been doing this act. Fucking clowns. Y'all been doing this. But who can y'all really see? Are you really giving that? Can you really see what's really going on? Y'all been doing this. Y'all never gonna tell us. But see, when I sit y'all down in my chair and I'm touching your crown and you come open with information because it's a sacred position to touch someone's head, and you telling me the truth, you telling me that your husband is really your roommate and it's an act when he get off the road. He a businessman. You got everything you asked for, and it ain't what you needed. You went after your wants. You were subtracting from yourself. The man, you were subtracting from yourself. You ain't gonna have your soulmate. You got a roommate. How about
Hmm.
that?
Hmm.
They've been doing this. It's all an act. It's all smoke and mirrors. You just got to be able to see and hear and rightfully divide and know the truth about someone before you involve with them and all this and that. You need to know what you're dealing with. People are dangerous. Guns ain't dangerous. People are dangerous. Trust the wrong person and see what happened to your life. As a matter of fact, the problem is you we have all felt like we was misfits because we got involved with someone who don't even trust themselves, but they lied and played the game. They had a script for us. They had a template for us. And we got involved and hooked up with them. But the problem is, I'm telling you, it always comes back to self. When you lie to yourself, what you gonna do to me? That's
A
why
lot
people can
too.
be in 29-year marriages, something that people say they want. Not everybody don't want to be married. and everybody don't split into poly and all this and that. But for people who've been in, like, for example, someone been in a marriage for 29 years, this is why they could just be faking and disguising. And a person be like, I didn't know that this was the person I married, because the person don't even know who they are. They've been lying to themselves. They like, no, I'm this stand-up dude. No, I'm this stand-up woman. And then you give them a baby. What type of father are you? Then I can really vouch and say, oh, we had a baby. Oh, he had a seed. Oh, he got a penis. Oh, he has some money, but he ain't present. And that's not a race thing. That's a people thing. That's a people deficit. It's not just limited to Black people. We're not going to do that to us. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are amazing. We just got some things we need to work out. We need to iron out the wrinkles right now. We having a deep discussion about it. It's good, and this is going to separate the real from the fake. The fake don't want to hear it because they want to get in a box so bad. He got to be doing this. Expose yourself, boo. That's what we here for.
Really? That's what we're
Fuck
here
boy, get in
for.
the box. That's what we here for. We need to know who you are. We need to know who you are any fucking ways. Playing a fucking game with people's life. People out here really trying to do life and do right. And you want to come in disguise. So again, if you just want the gifts, be fucking bold enough to say the shit.
Right.
And stop trying to do what the culture says do. Finesse.
Right.
Finesse in our culture means telling a fucking lie.
Right. And that's the thing. And that's the thing. These women are in this room right now, and they're not saying anything in the comments, and they're not going to come up here and say that, they are an in denial escort or they are an in denial prostitute. But like, that's what we're here to talk about. But Ms. Demetria, let me ask you the last question. So is it giving broke woman behavior if a woman is asking a man for money or asking a man to pay her bills that she's not in a committed exclusive relationship with?
She can ask and he can give.
But is it giving broke woman behavior?
It's giving. You got to know what's going on in that person's brain. I mean, on a date, are we just talking about dating and you're asking for the person to pay the bills? Like,
Yes, they're
what
not in
behind?
a committed exclusive relationship. These are two people that are dating. They may be being physically intimate with each other. They don't
Well,
live together. They don't have any sort of obligation to each other. But she's asking him for money, and she feels empowered to ask him for money because she's
yeah.
sleeping with him. So I'm
Now
asking
that
you,
will
is that
happen.
giving broke bitch behavior? Yes or no?
No, not necessarily, because if they are sleeping together, you are going to, and you know this, Noble, you are going to find women that say that my puss, like, because I'm giving you that and that's something you want. Not that they don't want it, not that they're not getting wet for it. Let's be clear. They moving away from the natural part of it and they go into the financial part of it, and they want the reciprocation not only to be D, so they get D, let's be honest, and they get in that feeling, that's that itch scratch, and they want some bills paid. There are lots of women like that. We are all different. We are all different. And it do come to a certain point. Sometimes with a woman, that's what it means to them. Automatically, if they open up like that, which really that's the most sacred part of us, is that if they open up like that, then automatically us women want the man to assume the position to be some type of headship, where it's paying or leading or giving something financially or being involved more. That naturally happens. That's like a natural exchange. But each woman is going to tell you something distinctly different on why they feel the way that they do. But I know that to be true. I don't think that that's giving like broke bitch behavior. That happens when we open our legs. We do expect more from y'all. We really do.
And
Now,
I'm
how we
not I'm not
navigate
I'm
through
not
that
saying
is
I'm not
different.
saying that anything is wrong with a woman expecting more from a man that she's opening her legs for. I'm just asking you if it's giving broke bitch behavior or not. But you said no, right?
Um,
Because at
it
the end of the day, like
depends.
I said, we're not in a committed exclusive relationship with each other.
I could give you, so you're saying I could give you the most sacred thing of me and I can't ask for something monetary.
I'm not saying you can't ask for anything monetary, but so should is the man allowed to ask you for something monetary as well?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So
Reciprocation.
I want to be clear. I want to
Yes.
be clear. I want to be clear. So we are not in a committed exclusive relationship with each other, but we are sleeping with each other. So me as a man, if I ask you for some money, or if I ask you, can you cover a bill for me or cover some bills for me? There's nothing wrong with that, correct?
That's that. I don't think it's nothing wrong. I feel like it's reciprocation. Now, will we do as much as a man? No. Most of us will not. Most of us will not. Some will. I've seen it. They're gonna go all out for your birthdays and this and that, and they already know your financial status, and they're not expecting you to take them on a trip to Turkey or anything like that. But a woman, it just depends. Every woman is different. It's worth a conversation, Noble, between you and whoever you fucking. It's worth a conversation to see where their head is at.
All right,
Put
Miss
it on the table and
Demetria.
see what you get. That's what we're
So
doing when
to,
we
so
date,
so I just
anyways.
want to be clear to the men, to the men in here. She said that she personally does not see anything wrong with a man that is sleeping with a woman that he is not in a committed exclusive relationship with. She doesn't see anything wrong with that man either asking that woman directly for money or asking her to cover a bill or some bills. So to the men in here, if you are sleeping with a woman and that you are not in a committed exclusive relationship with, make sure that you ask her for some money from time to time. Make sure
But
you tell
let
her to
me be
cash app you $50 so you can go get your hair done. Make sure you ask her to cover your cell phone bill this month. I just want to be clear on that. Miss Demetria, please, do you have any last things you want to say
I
before I bring
do.
the next person up?
Part of what you're saying, it's almost sometimes it's like for me for me to be paying a man's bills that I'm dating, that's like really unrealistic.
You're
He
not
would have
dating him.
had to.
Why do you not see it the same way, the other way around? Because
We
so what
do
so you have a coochie and I have a and I have what I have, but because you have a coochie, it's okay for you don't see it the same way the other way around. Despite the fact that we're only dating, we're not in a committed exclusive relationship with each other.
No, I get what you're saying. And for King, I'm not trying to take it back. Nigga, you don't know me. You need to listen. Get to know me. Okay? I'm telling you my mind, my sentiments. I'm quite sure you have yours. What I'm saying is me in the situation, Noble, me dating a man, we didn't say exclusive or nothing like that. For him to ask me to pay a bill, ugh, mm. I don't do that. I don't ask men to pay my bills. I don't ask him to get my feet and hair and nails done. If he chooses to do it, I'll oblige. You know what I'm saying? But I personally don't. So that's where I'm coming from. But I do believe in reciprocation. If I have asked him to pay a bill, and I think and I feel as though that's where we're at, then when it come back around, I'm not gonna have my nose turned up. But I mean, I know how a woman is. We do expect a man to do more than what we do
Yes, but
because we'll lose
I
respect.
acknowledge that. But you're
Yes.
simply expecting a man to do more because you have a coochie and he doesn't. So he
No,
doesn't
no, no,
have a
no,
coochie. So what's the
no,
problem
no,
there?
no, 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 no. It's respect. It's
So
respect for me to be able to see that you can lead more, that you can handle more. That's what it is. If you trying to come at me for something long term, if you want respect from me as a woman, then you need to know how to lead. You need to know how to dominate in certain areas. You need to know how to cover. And so that also comes, those are like sometimes when life happen, Noble, and you dating someone and you feel like you can go to that person, because that's what that would have to be for me. I can't speak for anybody else. I don't just be like, hey, pay my bills. For me to ask, since I don't do that, it really would have to be someone who I feel like can cover me. And that also would show me what he's made of. You see what I'm saying? And then when I say reciprocation, I don't want to be spending more money than what he's spending. because I want to be able to respect him at the end of the day, that he can cover me, because that's the order. Now, if he come back and say, you know what, I'm short on this or whatever, I do believe in reciprocation. I really do. Especially if I could get it from him, especially if he covered me, then I will help, I will assist.
All right. Well, thank you, Ms. Demisha. I appreciate you. I'm gonna move on to the next caller. All right.
Yeah.
All right. You have a good night, Ms. Demisha.
You too. Bye bye.
All right. So I'm